Good morning, everyone. Welcome to How Ines Rolls. It's early. It's like barely 8 o'clock in the morning, and I thought I'd make my kids a yummy little breakfast. So we're gonna get started first with some bacon. I am such a huge fan of making bacon in the oven. Let me know if that's how you make your bacon. So while this is cooking, I thought I would make the boys some rolled up French toast, which sounds delicious. So that really should take about 15 or so minutes. I'm gonna just keep checking on it, and I could really tell by the smell. So when it just starts smelling so good here, then I really start checking. So what I'm gonna do now is get all the components for French toast. So I'll need like cinnamon, I'll need some sugar, I'll need milk and eggs, and I'm gonna be using bread. So, but not just any bread, our grandma sycamore bread, because since we've been on quarantine, my kids don't really eat sandwiches. They just eat whatever I make or something from the freezer. So we've been able to not use bread, or very, very minimal. So I have this bread loaf that I kind of need to use up anyways. So let me know in the comments, are your kids still eating lots of sandwiches, or are you eating lots of sandwiches? It seems like it would be really easy to just go to make a sandwich, but somehow my kids must be all sandwiched out. So I'm gonna use their Grandma Sycamore bread, which is one of our favorite breads. So let me start getting ready with getting 3 tablespoons of butter melted. I am going to bring you closer so you can see everything that's going into this bowl and recipe. Plus, I also have a link down below in the description box to this yummy recipe as well. All right, to our melted butter, we are gonna add 3 tablespoons of white granulated sugar. And then we're going to add also some more sugar. I know the kids are gonna love it. We're gonna put in some brown sugar, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. What we're trying to make is a mixture here. And then that mixture will go on the white bread. And then we're gonna do 1 tablespoon of cinnamon. You'll have to let me know if you've been really making lots of things from scratch, lots of like baking. I know some people have mentioned in the comments that with this time and all this extra time we have, they've been baking a lot, which, as I understand, right now I am currently more in the reorganizing my house kind of phases and cleaning and like trying to decorate with what I have. Okay, so look, you can see we have a yummy brown sugar cinnamon butter mixture. And we're just going to put that aside. Now we're going to get our bread out. All right, just kidding. Before I start cutting the bread, we're going to make our liquid mixture. I'm going to open up a couple of eggs, and I'm going to put a quarter of a cup of milk. And just mix that together. I'd also suggest that having a cinnamon mixture also on the side, a drier one, that would have 2 tablespoons of sugar and 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. So that way you just have a, because it'll be a topping, but I don't need to do that because we already have a cinnamon sugar mix. So I'm gonna use that up first before I need to make some more and just replenish it. So I'm gonna be keeping that aside for our toppings. Okay, so it looks like I have my liquid mixture. So if I need to add more, let's say I use all of my bread and I've coated it well, seems like I'm running low on the liquid part, I could just make some more, maybe like 1/8 of a cup of milk to 1 egg, depending on how much I need. So we're gonna put that aside. And then now we can get into cutting off the crust. That's actually my favorite part to bread, is the crust. But it looks like in this recipe, we do not need it. You could hear Ezra in the background with his sneezes. I understand we are getting some serious allergies in our house. It is nice and springy outside. So we are definitely feeling it here. Let me know in the comments if your area has hit spring. Those won't go to waste. Okay, I have all of my breads with all of their crusts cut off. And I'm just going to take a rolling pin and just kind of flatten them out. That's all I'm gonna do. And then I'm going to move them over so they each have a place on this napkin. This is gonna make it so much easier to roll them up. All right, these just came out of the oven, so I'm gonna just take them off, pat them dry, and put them on a plate so that they are ready. And it looks like we're almost ready to rock and roll on rolling up these French toast roll-ups. Okay, so I have my bacon ready, so I'm just gonna put it aside. And now I'm gonna take our mixture and just get it evenly onto all of these pieces of bread, just so that I have enough for all of it and it's pretty equal. And I can always go back and add some more. And then we're just gonna spread that around. This is gonna be so good. So I got my frying pan out already, and I already added a little bit of butter. The recipe says 3 tablespoons, but I think that's kind of a lot. So I'm using a non-stick frying pan anyway, so I don't think I'm gonna need that much. So now we can start going back over. I'm also helping Ezra do some homeschooling, and so it's all multitasking today, this morning. Okay, we're just gonna take them now and spread it around. Get it up to all the corners. And then after we do that, I'll show you what we'll do next. All right, so now we're just gonna roll these up as tight as possible. And then we're gonna get it ready to dip into our egg milk mixture. How fun is this with a different variation on French toast? Boys are gonna love them. Okay, I'm gonna get the rest rolled up and we're gonna dip them and fry them. Okay, here we go. We're just gonna dip. I'm gonna use some tongs, kind of coat it on all sides. Get it right into the pan. Ooh, nice little sizzle. Little dip. I'm also going to be making some scrambled eggs because I kind of think like that'll be good for me. These are going to be good for the boys. I might have one, but they're primarily for the kids. They do cook fast, so just kind of keep your eye on them. So it looks like my liquid mixture was totally enough. I do have that on medium heat, so just gives me a couple of extra seconds to flip them around. Look at those sizzle. Let me know in the comments if you've ever made these before. I think this might be my first time, but I love making French toast. Look how quickly and easily these came out. They look so good and they smell even better. So now I'm just going to sprinkle some of that cinnamon sugar. I'm gonna roll it in there because a lot just came out. It's okay, it's gonna be so good. Just kind of roll it in there. That's awesome. Okay. So now these are gonna be ready for the boys. These are perfect. I'm just working on some scrambled eggs right behind me, and then we're gonna start dishing up. I made those French roll-ups, the French toast roll-ups. Oh, good. Oh man, that is so good. It almost tastes like a cinnamon roll. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, we'll be making these again for sure. Well, that breakfast was so good. I do have a little bit of advice. Now, the recipe calls for 8 pieces of bread. I think you could easily do 10 because the mixture in the middle was kind of thicker for maybe my taste, but it was still so good. So I think you could even stretch it out over 10 pieces, maybe even 11. So that's something to think about if you're going to do this recipe. You can even make more. So you guys, thanks so much for stopping by the channel. Let me know in the comments if you're making delicious breakfast in the morning for your family, and what are your go-to breakfast ideas? Do you have a special casserole? Do you make special waffles? I'm on the hunt for some good breakfast recipes, so let me know down below. And stick around, rollers. You just never know what I'll be rolling out next. Bye, everyone. Now I gotta clean.